Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So in this one we're going to be building a Jaskółka-Class Minesweeper, which has actually been built by the Polish Navy. So this was another World War II. I'm doing a lot of World War II ships at the minute. But yeah, this one was actually the first kind of ship, ocean-going ship that was actually built by the Polish Navy, which I find, quite interesting, quite cool actually. There was 6 of them in total. Some of them were sunk during World War II, during the invasion of Poland. Others were actually sunk and then kind of raised up, lifted up, and actually repaired. And then they were used for kind of multiple purposes, unfortunately, by Germany at the time. But what I found quite interesting about it, it's got a bit of history, another nice little small ship I can actually knock out relatively quickly, which I think is quite cool, and I've been quite enjoying these and doing like different ships at the minute. So with this one in particular, I ended up not having a black layer because it's got a really small kind of under the water part of it, draft I think it's called. It's got a really small one of those, so it just didn't work with me trying the black kind of in there. It's got a gun at the front of it, which I find really interesting. Minesweepers, you wouldn't have thought they would necessarily have guns, but they got to defend themselves. It makes a lot of sense, and I can kind of almost double as a patrol ship really for your actual waters. So it does make quite a lot of sense. It's got a really tiny little smokestack on this one because I wanted a way to get to the upper deck on top of where the bridge is. That meant that actually the smokestack only had 1 block, so it's absolutely tiny. The other thing that I kind of thought looked really cool on this, actually on the top of it, it's almost got a hat on the bridge. It's the only way I can describe it, but it's got this kind of bit that kind of sticks out on all sides and has got quite a wide, or was quite wide, quite big. So I ended up putting that, and that's kind of like, when I saw it I was just thinking, that looks different, that looks really quite different. I've not really seen that before, so I kind of like it. I think it adds a lot of character to this ship class. So at the back they have got kind of like a skylight going into underneath. It's quite a small interior underneath on the lower decks, but it's not too bad, I guess. But putting on a kind of like little boat on there, which could also double as your life raft. And then there's these floats as well, these red floats that actually get used for sweeping mines, and some more machinery and things like that on there. So I ended up kind of having a look at quite a lot of the different designs for this one, and I could see something on one of the decks, and I just couldn't figure out what it was, whether it was a little gun. But what I ended up doing in the end is actually removing it and just moving the machinery, which I'm guessing is kind of like a winch system for those floats, actually moving that in. As always, the model makers of the world are absolutely awesome with this one. The pictures, very black and white, lots of black and white pictures, some of them quite blurry, especially for the detailed parts of it, but the model makers had come in and done an awesome job, so without them I would not have been able to make this at all. But I really like it. It's a nice little small boat, bit of history. It's the first Polish ship that I've actually done as well. And I do quite like having a look at different navies. All of them have their own kind of, style to them. They've got their own character, and that's kind of really quite interesting to me, especially when you build them. You can actually tell the different nations that have built these ships. They all have kind of part of the culture ingrained in them, and I love it. I absolutely love getting to do these different builds. But there we go, here it is, the kind of like finished up build with all the little bits of detail on it, lots of little crane systems on it as well. I decided with the smokestack to switch it out for a campfire and put some trapdoors on it instead to kind of cover it up, so you only really see it from the back. But I really like it. I think the smoke coming out with the campfire just kind of adds a bit more realism to these ship builds. I really enjoy it. As always guys, there will be a tutorial for this one in due course, so don't worry about that. But let me know what else you guys want me to build, and we'll see about doing it here on the channel. But anyway guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, make sure to comment, like and subscribe. And as always guys, I'll see you on the next one.